Hello fellow edutainmentees, Injasuti here again. I hope you're all well and taking care of yourselves in this tumultuous time. And things are not improving in our state of Victoria, but we're hoping that with the lockdowns they can slow this COVID spread, slow it right down. Okay, but the rest of the world is struggling so badly. So it's very sad. Now our great leader, Phoneme, has asked me to do another video on some phonemes that we haven't done already and that might help you. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to be doing more than one again, so this video might be a little bit longer than some of the others, but you can always stop in the middle and come back later. You don't have to sit there and watch the whole thing. Okay, so all right, phonemes. Okay, as you can see here, phonemes are the language, the alphabet language. Okay, but in sound, not in letters. Okay, so when you see something that looks a bit odd, and I'll show you a phoneme chart, which you've probably seen before. This is the English pronunciation phoneme chart, but every language will have one, and even some dialects. I think the Americans have got their own, because there are quite a few English words that they say differently to the British. So anyway, this is the British one that I go by. Okay, now if you were to go on to Oxford or Cambridge Dictionary to look for a particular word, you would see these British phonemes. So if you want to learn them, you know, the sound that they make, this can be very helpful when you're looking up a word in the dictionary, and you don't want to necessarily resort to pressing the little icon there to listen to it. But you can do both, of course. It's entirely up to you. So, but some people find it very handy. Okay, so let's have a look at the ones that we're going to do today, or rather the first one. And the CH, when you see it in words, is quite confusing because it has different pronunciations, doesn't it? And knowing when to say which pronunciation, it can be a bit of a struggle. So I'm going to give you some guidelines as to this. Okay, they're only guidelines. There are no set rules, but just guidelines that will help you when you're looking at a particular word. If you know what the guideline is, you can say, right, okay, I think that's a hard CH sound. But let's get to that part and you'll see. All right, so how to pronounce it. So as you know, there is that hard sound, ch. Ch, as in cheese, or chop, or channel. You see, ch, ch. It's a plosive sound. We hold the air back in our mouth and then we release it quickly. Ch, ch. Okay. Now the other one comes out like the SH sound. Sh, sh, sh. Okay. And then the last one is coin. So just like a K sound, or a C by itself, coin. Okay, but the first two are the more common ones. Okay, so there are three different sounds for the CH. Okay, so we'll have to examine them and see. Okay, so as I've said, there is no hard and fast rule here to indicate when the CH is pronounced in a hard or soft way. English contains words from many languages, because we've been invaded so many times by foreigners, and we've stolen some of their words, or we've borrowed them. That's a nicer way of saying it. Such as Latin, of course, and of course the Romance languages, you know, like French and Italian and Spanish and Portuguese, all Romance languages. So they also derived from Latin as well. They have Latinate words. And of course German, which would include Dutch, anything around that area. The Anglo-Saxons, the Germanic people and the Danish people also came to England, and so we had a lot of words from there as well. And of course Scandinavian languages, because we were often invaded by the Vikings from Norway. Okay, and you've probably heard of the Vikings, great fighting people. Yeah, so that's why English is complicated, but we love it. We love incorporating other words if we can, because it makes the language so colourful and interesting. All right, so we do a bit of pinching every now and then. Yeah, we'll have that word. Thank you very much. And that's why sometimes the CH in other languages is different from another language. Okay, now let's have a look at this one. So in general, words originating from French will have a soft CH, like the sh sound, okay? So we have parachute, parachute. You know, the soldiers that jump out of aeroplanes and they've got the parachute above them to stop them crashing to the ground. The parachute, that's a French word, parachute. And cachet, I should have actually put an acute over the E there. All right, but the French go on the E, you will have the grave or you will have the acute. If it's an acute, it goes A at the end, cachet. Okay, cachet. And I've done it on the third word, attaché, attaché. Okay, so there's the sh sound. Now, words originating from the Germanic languages will have a hard CH. Church, bench. But loch and bach as well. Now, loch is today is a Scottish word for lake. All right, they call it loch, Loch Lomond. Okay, instead of Lake Lomond, they call it loch, and it's a very guttural sound, a bit like you're clearing your throat. Loch. And Bach, of course, you'll be familiar with him. He's a very famous composer, died a long time ago, but left us with some wonderful music. Okay, so those are the two that are slightly different. So you've got the church, bench. Okay, so that's the hard sound. Okay, now we do have words with Greek origins, of course, and the CH will sound like a K, or just a C on its own, all right? Ache, ache. So if you've got an aching arm, oh, it's so sore, my arm aches, or like a throbbing sort of feeling, okay? It's a sore ache, spelled A-C-H-E. And then anarchic, all right? If you're an anarchic person, you like to cause trouble. Right, protesters are quite often considered anarchic because they want to upset the government and cause trouble. And alchemy. Okay, alchemy. And this is hundreds of years ago, they thought they could make gold by using certain chemicals. All right, so alchemy, not alchemy, but alch. All right, so that's the C derivation, which has long ago Greek origins. Okay, so you can see why English is confusing and has so many mixed ways of saying things, and we just have to learn them. All right, now sometimes the H is there between a C and a soft vowel to indicate that the hard K sound is needed. Okay, so you can see the C and the I, and it has the H in the middle. Okay, and so this is the C sound. Architecture, of course these are Greek origins. Architecture, ache, scheme, anarchist, beg your pardon, archive, catechism, schism, chiropodist, monarchy, psychiatric, chasm, not chasm, chasm, and chemical. All right, so you'll be familiar with some of those words anyway, with the k sound, not the ch. Okay, good. So as there are no hard and fast rules, let's just practice saying some of the words. Okay, let's see what we've got. Right, so this is the hard ch, which is the Germanic root, of course. Chat, chit, chum, chow, chess, cheat, choke, chair, chapter, channel, charity, chicken, cherries, chatroom, bench, bunch, coach, charm, cheese, children, chop, march, speech, teacher. Now, if you listen carefully, you can hear that before I go ch, I'm actually holding the air back and then I'm allowing it to shoot out. I can't breathe through my nose or my mouth. I've blocked it with my tongue up against my palate. That's my palate, okay? Like that. And I've got pressure. Ch, ch, okay? That's a plosive sound. Good, okay. Now, here is the SH sound, the softer one, where we have a lot of words derived from the French language, the beautiful French language. Chef, charlatan. Are you a charlatan? Shoot, chiffon, beautiful floaty material. Chassis, chivalry. Chauffeur. Do you have a chauffeur driving you around? I don't, I wish I had. Champagne, I love champagne with all those bubbles. Chauvinism, not good. Chandelier, beautiful. A lovely hanging thing from the ceiling with glass, and it's all lit up and it twinkles when the lights are on. A chandelier. Or some people say chandelier, it's up to you. Chandelier, chandelier. Okay, and then parachute. Parachute. Okay, good. So that's the S sound. Now we get on to the K sound, the K sound. Okay, so these are the other ways of saying these words. Chiropractor. This is a specialist that they work on your back, trying to get your spine into the right position. Okay, chemotherapy. Okay, that's the treatment for cancer. Chasm, not chasm, chasm. So we don't pronounce the H for any of these words. It's as if the H is not there. Okay. So you can pretend the H is not there. Okay, chimera, psychotherapy. That's a funny word, isn't it, with a P there, a silent P. Psychotherapy. Chlorine, chlorine. Charisma. Who's got charisma? Do you know of anybody with charisma? Choir, choir. School teacher. So, okay, we have school teacher and teach. Teacher. So in that word, we've got both sounds. Okay, school, teacher. Chronicle, character, synchronized, orchestration, and schizophrenic. Okay? As you can see, you get used to it. Once you read these words on a regular basis, you'll know which ones are which. Okay, good. So the only word in English language where the CH is not pronounced at all is yacht. Okay, I've got a picture of a yacht there. Well, a graphic, all right. Now, when I actually went on board yacht many years ago and sailed from South Africa to Brazil on a small yacht. And when I got there, I noticed that the Portuguese were saying iachi, iachi, iach, iach. That's right. So with this word, they use the same word, but they actually pronounce the CH, iach. Okay, but we used to just go yacht. We did used to say yacht a long, long time ago, but, you know, we got lazy and we dropped it. So, okay, so that's the only word where we don't pronounce it. Okay, good. All right, so really that just means practice, but you have a guideline as to why we do have those differences, and that's the derivation of the, where they come from the language. Okay, now the other one that Phoneme was saying was the j and the j, j and j, 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 j. Yes, that's a sound. That's a voiced sound. J, definitely. J, 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 j. Okay, both of them are voiced. So let's talk about the difference between the two of them. Okay, now the mouth and the teeth and the tongue are pretty much the same. Okay, your mouth is not entirely pursed, but the corners of your mouth are quite tight. Right, not much of a gap. And use your voice box. Okay. Now the air flows out freely. It's not being caught back. Okay, now it's along the same lines as the SH sound. So if you can say the SH, you can say this one. Okay, and the SH sound, of course, is sh, sh, and the j sound is j. So this is all the same. So say one and then say the other, and jump between the two of them and see if you can do it. Okay, let me see if I can. Got to take a deep breath. Not bad, eh? Okay, so one is voiced and one isn't. Okay, so the j is definitely voiced. Okay, but if you can say the sh, then you can say the j as well. All right. So, right now we're going to talk about the j in ending words with suffixes. So this is a bit of a quick lesson. I'll go through it quite quickly because I don't want to spend too much, have you too long watching this video. You can always go back and read it a bit more closely and see what it's all about. But we'll go through it at a quick pace. Okay. The consonant. You know the consonant. Not the vowels, the consonant that most commonly, that means most often, forms the j sound is the S, okay, when followed by specific or certain suffixes. And these are they: I-O-N, U-R-E, I-A, and U-A-L. So you put an S in front of all of those, and those will be suffixes that are used to make this sound. Okay, so the S is always preceded by a vowel when forming the j sound, but also so is the R. Okay, so you need a vowel before these S-I-O-N sounds, or S-U-R-E, etc., except the R as well. You're allowed the R. Okay, so just vowels and the R before the S. Okay, good. Right, so it creates nouns indicating an action or process or as a result. Okay, that's the S with the I-O-N. So let's have a look at some of the words. Abrasion, evasion, invasion, occasion, persuasion, pervasion. Okay, now with the E before the S, adhesion, cohesion, lesion. And here is the exception with the R before the S: aversion, conversion, diversion, excursion. Now, the English we say excursion, but I think in America they might say excursion. But I've heard English people saying excursion as well with a soft SH. So I think that's on the border of being one or the other. I think it's one of those words, it doesn't really matter anymore because everybody's using both. Okay, so je or sh. Okay, incursion, subversion. Okay, good. So if a consonant precedes the S-I-O-N, so not a vowel but a consonant, other than that R, then you would pronounce it as the SH sound. So if you look at these words here, there's no vowel before the S-I-O-N, and nor is there the R. So we don't go je, we just go sh, shin. Okay, so hypertension, incomprehension, expression, dimension, admission. Okay, so that's the exception when you use the sh sound, is when there's a consonant before the S. Okay, good. Okay, are you confused? Never mind. Okay, so right, vowel plus the S plus the URE. Okay, so we're moving now away from the ION to the next suffix, which is URE. Also goes zh. Okay, so the suffix URE is used to form nouns describing a condition, a process, an act, or a function. S only forms the zh sound with this suffix when it is preceded by the letter O. Okay, by the letter O. Not just any vowel, just the letter O. So let's look at those. Closure, O-j. Composure, disclosure, exposure, enclosure, leisure, measure, pleasure, and treasure. And there we have an S, so the consonant is okay. But the only vowel is the O vowel. Okay, so there are two other words ending in ure that create the j sound, but they are spelled with a z rather than an s. All right, and that is seizure and azure. Well, azure, I think is American. I think we say azure in England, zure rather than jure. Okay, so that's probably more Americanized to have it in this section, because azure is what we say in Britain. Okay, but azure is more American, I think. Right. Either or, doesn't matter. Okay, so vowel plus s plus the ia suffix. Okay, the suffix ia is most often used to indicate the names of diseases and pathological conditions, territories and countries, or certain conditions or qualities. And these are the ones that I found. Ambrosia. Amnesia. I can't remember anything. I have amnesia. Asia, or we say Asia now. Okay, some people say Asia, but I think it's Asia. That would fall under this category, wouldn't it? Asia. A dysplasia. That sounds like a medical term to me. Kinesthesia, magnesia, fantasia, and synesthesia. Now that's difficult because you've got the S followed by the TH. Synesthesia. Okay, thesia. Not jure though. Oh no, it wouldn't be. It's ia-cia. Okay, so ambrosia, amnesia, Asia, dysplasia, kinesthesia, magnesia, fantasia, and synesthesia. Okay, so that's the S plus the IA. Good. All right, I think this is the fourth one, isn't it? The fourth one. So this ending is not really a suffix, but rather, hold on, I've got the camera over there, but rather appears in adaptations of Latin root words. At its most basic, it only appears in 3 adjectives, but these words can be expanded using other suffixes to form nouns, verbs, and adverbs. So we've got casual, which can become casually and casualness. And then usual becomes usually and usualness. Visual becomes visually, visuality, and visualness. Okay, so that's the expansion that they're talking about. Okay, so that's not an S plus a UAL, so it's not really a suffix, but appears in adaptations of Latin root words. Okay, that's a bit confusing, even for me. Okay, now what about the G? What about the G and the J sound? Let's have a look at that. After the letter S, the consonant that most commonly forms the J sound is the soft G. Okay, the letter G becomes considered soft when it appears after a vowel and immediately before an E, an I, or a Y. Okay, a vowel, a G, and then either an E, I, or Y. Okay, let's look at the words for that J sound. Arbitrage, J, arbitrage. Beige, barrage. Camouflage, collage, corsage, entourage, garage, massage, mirage. Okay, massage, that's right, yes, and mirage, mirages in the desert. Okay, there are also a few words in which G takes the J sound but does not appear at the end of the word. Genre, so that's at the beginning. So we don't have the vowel in front of it, which is mentions before. But that's okay, G-E. So it's a soft G, J. Genre, lingerie, that means beautiful ladies' underwear, lingerie, and regime. Okay, good. Okay, good stuff. So what about the T and the X? T and the X in the J sound. This looks interesting. Well, there is only one word in which T produces the J sound. Equation. equation. There is one word in which X forms the j sound, luxury. Now, I was saying this word to myself a bit earlier, and there's a C in there as well, isn't there? Luxury. But together, they probably say je, luxury. Now, that doesn't sound right. I don't know why they gave us this one, because it's definitely luxury. Luxury. I would have said that was a C followed by an SH sound. So I don't really agree with that one. Maybe it's pronounced lingerie somewhere else. I'm not sure. Okay, so formed from other letters, and there is the J. The J is J or J. Okay, that's got two sounds as well. So like the soft G, the letter J occasionally produces the J sound instead of the normal J sound. Though this only happens in foreign loan words, in other words, words we've borrowed from other languages. For example, Beijing, the old Peking. Remember the Beijing used to be called Peking? All right, so Beijing, bijou, which is very French, bijou, déjà vu, very French, which we use all the time in English, Dijon, which is a place in France and also makes lovely mustard, Dijon mustard. Force majeure, and the Taj Mahal. All right, so all borrowed words, but they do sound lovely, don't they? Beijing, bijou, déjà vu, Dijon, force majeure, and Taj Mahal. Okay, so that's the J making the J sound. As you know, it also makes the hard J sound as well. Okay, and here we have it, J. That's the hard J sound, as in jest. All right, and this is a short-voiced sound. It is also plosive, so you're holding the pressure of the air back in your mouth, and you let it out sharply. Ch, ch. Okay, so trap the air in your mouth by placing your tongue on your palate, then force out. Okay, so that's the other sound that the J makes. So J and J as well. So it's confusing, isn't it, with the G and the J, that they sort of tend to cross over quite a bit. But practice. Okay, so if you wanted to type in Google words, you can just say words with and then put in the phoneme, and it'll come up with a list of words that you can practice. If you really want to get a good handle on these sounds, the best thing is to find the words and make a list and practice until they come easily, which they would do with practice. Okay, so I think I've come to the end. Have I come? Yes, I've come to the end. All right, so the CH sounds and the J sound. Okay, and the different combinations the sounds that they make, or the different letters that make that particular sound. Okay, so I hope that helps. I really do. And good luck with that. And look, take care of yourselves and each other. Okay. Bye for now.